YouTube, Facebook. Hope you guys are having a good day and a good morning wherever you are. It's April the 24th, 2024. So let's just start with looking at coin market cap. We're just going to talk about market, meme coin stuff. There's an airdrop that you can get into. Just my thoughts on a certain, just some things. So you might be interested. Let's just go and have a look at the coin market cap at the moment. And this is kind of like the first thing that everyone kind of looks at, right? Don't forget, like I said yesterday, coin market cap just is like a aggregator of all the data on all the chains. So no matter what, no matter what you're getting into, the hottest thing that you're getting into, whether it's on Solana, whether it's on Base, whether it's on Blast, Ethereum, BNB, or Avalanche, or any other chain that you might be interested, whether it's new or old, just know that people. There's a lot of people that are coming in new, that are new into this space, that don't really know much about crypto, or they just they're not familiar with how to transact, how to use a MetaMask, how to use Phantom, how to buy it on an exchange, what are private keys. Like they literally know nothing, and they're coming into the space and they want to make money. The first thing that they do is they invest into something that's simple, that they understand, and it's either Bitcoin or the popular coins. Like usually it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, because they probably already know about that. But then the next thing that they'll do, in my opinion, is they'll go to meme coins, because meme coins are easy to understand, they're not technical, and they're something that you can invest in speculatively and potentially make gains. And that's why meme coins are very, very popular. And they're not like a fad like these other things like NFTs. NFTs have their place, but they're not like what they used to be in 2021, 2022, right? Then you've got all these other things that are popping up. So just know that in my opinion, these things are just distractions to what you should be doing. And what you should be doing is accumulating Bitcoin. Okay? If you go and ask Michael Saylor, who's got 110 or even more now, 110,000 Bitcoin through MicroStrategy, you ask him what he's doing. He's not going to tell you, I'm getting into runes, or I'm getting into bitmaps, or I'm getting into fucking NFTs, or some obscure layer 20 or layer 5. I'm being sarcastic here, right? That's potentially going to explode. No, they're buying Bitcoin. Why? Because a lot of the stuff that you're seeing on the internet is just it's just smoking mirrors, and it's just distractions from what you should be doing, and that's buying Bitcoin. So yeah, it's just the same old thing repeated through the history of time, that snake oil salesmen come along and they peddle this stuff, and at the end of the day you're buying something that's not going to be around in 10 years time. This is your long-term thing. You want to I'm not saying don't get into these other things, but don't make it your primary thing, that you're only going to get into these when you haven't got a bag of Bitcoin. You are a fool, in my opinion. You should be stocking up on Bitcoin, then go and have a dabble with all this other stuff, okay? But make no mistake, Bitcoin's going to be around in 10 years' time, and all this other shit won't. All right. So you're investing into something that's not. It has a short-term. It has a short-term life. Basically, that's what you're doing. That's essentially what you're doing. So let me just show you some other stuff here. I mean, this website's been around for a long time, but I like to look at it because it's kind of cool. But it just shows the flow of Bitcoin. It's called Fiat Leak, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But really, that's kind of like what you should be doing. You should just be accumulating in Bitcoin, and uh, just stack it at long term. Then have a play with all this other stuff. Uh, there is a actually I'll show you Gummy first. So I talked about Gummy yesterday. Yeah, Gummy's like this is like a meme coin by Crypto Banter. He has like 700 and something thousand subscribers. He created this coin, and in yesterday's live stream I talked about how if you really want to make, like, I'm not talking small change, I'm talking multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures. What you need to do is you need to buy into a meme coin and you need to hold it long term. Now I'm not talking long term like Bitcoin, I'm talking long term like 3 months with meme coins is sufficient for it to move up if it's a good coin. Like, that's really where you're going to make the money. Like, you look at WIF, you look at Bonk, you look at even Shiba Inu in the early days, Pepe in the early days. Like, even though the rise was quite dramatic compared to Bitcoin and that, but I mean, within a short period of time, less than 6 months, those coins went to $1 billion market caps in less than 6 months. But if you were to get into Shiba or you get into Bonk or get into WIF and you would have sold out early, then you're not going to see the massive gains like multiple 6 figures or 7 figures. You're not going to make millions from it. Why? Because you cheated out too early. So the hardest thing about these meme coins is finding one that's actually legit, that's not going to rug, and then staying in it long enough for it to accumulate, go up in volume, go up in holders, go up in liquidity, then start to get on multiple exchanges. See, the thing with Bonk and the thing with WIF and Shiba Inu, Pepe, when it initially got into like DEX on the DEX, usually it gets on like central DEXs first, right? Decentralized exchanges, because they're easy to list on. But where it really gained momentum is once it got into the centralized exchanges. That's really the key to it. So you've got to allow time for the volume to pick up, the liquidity to pick up. That's when the centralized exchanges are going to be interested in it. Then, once it gets on, every time it gets onto a new centralized exchange, or what they call it, or a CEX, then it opens up that a whole new market, because there's people that are just literally just only trade on Binance, or they only trade on Bybit, or they only trade. Sometimes they have like country restrictions, so that particular sex might only be for like that country, and then they can't go into like Binance because it's not for US, right? And there's different exchanges in Korea, Japan. So those markets are only accessible to those people in those geographical locations, and they're not familiar with the DEXs, okay? They only like trust the centralized exchange that they always trade on, right? So once the meme coin gets on multiple SECs, it can get into those markets and get into those pockets of investors geographically that are located all around the world. That's why Pepe, Bonk, WIF, Shiba Inu, all those reached $1 billion market caps in the billions, and people making multiple millions because they went on centralized exchanges. But if you're going to cheat out beforehand and make $100, $200, which is fine, people can do that. Pay your rent for half a week. then that's what you're going to get. But if you hold, obviously, you're going to be able to be the one that's going to be there long term. If you hold long enough, then you'll make 6 figures, if not 7 figures. That's the key to the meme coins. Now, the good thing about meme coins is you don't have to wait years. You can literally just wait 1 or 2 months. Because if you look at the rise of WIF, you look at the rise of Pepe, Bonk, those things mooned within only like 2 or 3 months. So it's not a long wait. So I'm not saying that Gummy is going to do that, but what I will say is it has a pretty good chance because it's being pushed by a big YouTuber. All right, and that's kind of like what it's got. See, so there's tons of Bitcoin going to the continental United States here. So that's Pump and sorry, that's Gummy, but so the Gummy. Let's have a look. So Gummy now, what they're doing is they have 30% of the supply went to airdrops, and no team tokens, no dev tokens. Crypto Banzer didn't get any tokens himself. There was some tokens allocated to marketing and centralized exchanges, which is critical, in my opinion. There has to be some money for that. So the first airdrop has been done for 10%. All right. So now there's 2 more airdrops. So you can actually still get into the airdrop. All you need to do is go to Banter Bubbles, BANTER, bubbles.com. And then what you're going to do is sign up for an account here. It's free. You sign up here. See the little yellow tab here? Click sign in. Just sign in with your Google account. And then once you sign up, it'll ask you to, it's now opening up the second airdrop. And how this works is, once you sign in and create an account, you'll accumulate these points. Now, you can't see it on this one because it's going through a VPN, a different IP address, and it's not showing my account. But once you sign up, just use a Gmail account. You start to accumulate these points, and then you have to enter your Solana wallet. Okay, make sure it's Solana. You're going to accumulate points, and these points will, I don't know the ratio, but then it'll equate to the second airdrop, okay? Another 10% for Gummy, all right, to this. So if you do that, it's free. You get a free airdrop, all right? So I will do that now because the sooner you do it, the better, the more points you will accrue, and then they'll airdrop that directly to your wallet. And if you want, you can go, and then once they do it, you can sell it. Now you have to follow the socials to find out when. They already done the first airdrop, so it might be some time before the second airdrop. I don't know. Okay, but it's open now. But I'm holding this one long term. I think that they can do into the billions. Now at the moment, it's, hang on, let me look. Yeah, at the moment it's only 174 million. I think this can go into a billion, maybe 2 billion. It'll take probably a month. And there's only 3.3 million liquidity, so plenty of liquidity there. And also they said on the socials that there's already confirmed listing on 2 centralized exchanges. So remember what I said earlier about Bonk, Pepe, WIF, Shiba Inu. Those things really didn't start to take off once they got off the DEXs. And DEXs are good to start, but there's a lot of people that cheat on DEXs, okay? They just don't hold long enough. They're short-term thinkers. So once it gets into multiple centralized exchanges, this is when I think it's going to take off. But you've got to, if you're going to cheat out beforehand, you're not going to see the profits. So it's getting on 2 centralized exchanges. They've confirmed this on their X account. I just call it Twitter. I just like Twitter better. They've confirmed this on their Twitter account that they're going on 2 now. They're probably only going to be 2 smaller centralized exchanges, but so did WIF and BEP and Pepe. those ones, they don't start off in like on Binance. They start off on smaller centralized exchanges. Like I said, they build the volume, they build the liquidity, they build the holders. Every time they go on a new SEX, they go into different markets that are not accessible. They get into buyers overseas that can't get into the US and vice versa. Once they go internationally, get onto Korean exchanges, Japanese exchanges, there's tons of people in Asia. Like, Asia's massive, for crypto. And once they started to get into multiple of these smaller exchanges, which are very easier to do than to get onto Binance, that's when you see this volume start to pick up. That's how you get into the billions. So yeah, really interesting how this is going to pan out. We know it's legit, so it's not going to rug. And that's the biggest thing with these meme coins, is they rug. Okay, they're dodgy AF. You know what AF stands for, and they just rug because they're people that create these coins. They're quite adamant, and they're happy to make $100. The devs are quite happy to make $100 or whatever the fuck they want to make. All right, they're just cheats. So yeah, just go to Crypto Banter Bubbles, get your airdrop. CryptoBanterBubbles.com. So this one's called Pump.fun. You've probably seen this website. Now, I had a look at this used to be a good website that when it first started, but now it's just festing with just pump and dumps. That's probably why it's called Pump.fun. It ain't Pump.fun no more. It's Pump.dump. Now, we've got our token, Buddy Token, on here. But the actual platform itself here, this is Buddy Token. We're still raising money for it. But the thing with Pump.fun is there's so many scams here on it. It's no longer fun. All right. Now, when I had a look at the app, there's a couple of apps around. There's a couple of bots around. People are sniping these things. But I had a look at the one of the apps I got, and it showed me 20,445 listings created in the last 24 hours. 20,000. Just let that sink in. 20,000 listings were created in the last 24 hours on Pump.fun. 20,000. So the way it works is, you can list a coin for like very, very little money, 0.02 Solana, and then if enough investors buy it, then it goes to 100%, and then it goes to Radium automatically. So it's very easy for people to create their own coin, and basically people support it, and then it goes to Pump.fun. But the problem is, people have exploited it, and they just launch these things. They make like $1 or $2, and then they just cheat out. They just dump on everyone, right? Because how the bonding curve works, and then they repeat this thing fucking 1,000 times. Yeah, that's right. They make their $1 or $2 and they repeat it 1,000 times. Yes, makes no sense to me, but that's what they do. Anyway, this one here, it's like this. It's called Pump.investments, and it's like this. It gives you more. It's like a thing that's supposed to help you figure out which ones are the pump and dumps and which ones are actually legit. So it allows you to sift through a lot of these scams, because 99% of the coins on Pump.fun are scams. 99.99. They'll dump, they'll cheat, or they'll just won't go anywhere. They will never go to Radium. So anyway, you can have a play on Pump.fun if you want to have a look. There are legit projects on there, but they're very, very, very few now that it's just a huge place for people to pump and dump, and people are just getting burnt on this platform, and it's It's working. It's literally going to become a shit site. See this one here. I looked at this one. This one's like this meme coin, and what happens is there's a team actually. There's like probably like 5 or 10 or maybe like 5 or 6 different people, right? They buy multiple wallets at the same time to appear that it's just multiple people buying, right? Then they start to get it trending to go into the algorithm, like to go into what they call King of the Hill, and King of the Hill will appear on the front page, so it gets a lot of attention. So as people, they bid it up, right? They bid it up, and then as people come in, see these are the trades here. As people, as like real buyers come in because they see this thing going, like it might be at like 60, 70, 80%, 90%. You know, it starts to move up. It's about to get to 100%, right? When it gets to 100%, it goes to radium automatically. Then once they bid it up, then these 5 or 7 people that got in early, they put in their money early, they G'd out and they dump. And this is what exactly happened here. See this dump here? They just eventually just all dump. And that's how they're making money. They're pumping and dumping, okay? So it's really risky and it's just crazy. So just be careful, okay? Just be very careful, guys. What else was I going to talk about? Yeah, look, this one here, just a bit of fun. But yeah, it's really interesting how this is working, though. What the hell? Let me just make this a little bit bigger for you. Still not working. Okay, maybe that's as big as we're going to get it. But anyway, so this is like this hamster thing I've been talking about. It's like a Telegram DApp, a bot. What I will say about this one is that it's been very interesting how this has been playing out. It's free, you tap away and you start to earn money, points which accumulate to like potential, because there's an airdrop coming. Okay. Yeah, really interesting how this one works. One thing that does really well is accumulate users. There's like 1 million people playing this, so it's definitely the viral aspect to it. I don't know how the launch is going to go, but now there's heaps of copycats. I mean, this one's kind of like a copycat because the first one was not coin, and then this one here. But this one is really pretty big, right? It's been really successful. Now there's like tons of them coming out. I mean, I'm not interested in them. I just like to have it. I like to reverse engineer and kind of like figure out how the hell these people are getting so many users. I'm not really interested in joining, the next 10 of them, because they're all, what happens, right? Once one comes out, the first one's usually successful, and then the next one's just, they're not as successful, right? So, but it's been interesting to see how this one pans out, because there's tons of users currently, with using this thing. So it will be very interesting. Let's have a look. Yeah, so like Bitcoin hasn't really pulled back. It's still kind of like going up. So it's done the opposite. It dumped before the halving and now it's going up. So what's going to happen next? Well, it's slowly accumulating. It's slowly getting scarce because we're only producing 3.125 per block, and it's going to take probably about 6 months to a year before we really start to see the effects on the halving. But it is more scarce, and the existing supply that's being minted is getting gobbled up. So it's getting more and more scarce. $1 million Bitcoin by 2030, and that's very conservative compared to what other well-known, prominent analysts that have already said into the multiple millions with Bitcoin by 2032. So the good news is you still have, obviously, 7 years, 6 years and a bit, 6 years and 6 months, 6 years and 8 months. Good news. Bad news is it's going to keep on going up in price as it gets more scarce. You literally are basically, it's a ticking time bomb for you if you do not have any Bitcoin. Because this thing's going to be 100k very soon, and it's got 150k. And then once we get it, once you start to buy Bitcoin at 150k, it's still going to be cheap, right? When you look at the long term, but you don't I'll still be buying Bitcoin at 100k, but 150k, but like I'm okay with that because I was buying Bitcoin at a $600, $700, $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Like, you know, I'm still going to accumulate, but it hurts if you're just coming into Bitcoin right now and you're buying it you're going to be buying it at 100k. You know what I mean? When you could have bought it at much cheaper. But Bitcoin will be worth millions one day. So in the grand scheme of things, I guess it's still cheap. All right. Once something's so expensive, you know, you kind of look back and think, well, 67k was not really that expensive, right? Because people always like to compare to what it was, right? Now, Bitcoin, people are complaining about the price of Bitcoin. Oh, look at it, it's only 67k. But what they fail to understand, that 1 year ago, Bitcoin was 28k. Can you see the context? You know, people don't know that. They just love complaining. Yes, Bitcoin was 28k 1 year ago. You could have bought it. But what they're doing is they saw Bitcoin go to 75k, so now they're complaining, oh, it's only 67k. You know what I'm saying? So they're complaining about the price. But what they fail to know is that Bitcoin was 28k. And then it's most likely they would never even bought it, because if they bought it at 28k, they would know the price that it was 28k a year ago. Yes, that's just how crypto works, guys. You know what I'm saying? So if you buy Bitcoin and just accumulate it long term, then you won't be complaining. You'll be laughing your ass off. Hang on a second. Let's see if I'm actually live streaming. I don't know if I'm... Yeah, oh, okay. I am live streaming. It's just not showing up on Facebook. Check your messenger. I will, Pascal. No, not another one. I'll have a look at it though. But I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much have over these over them. But you never know. You know, I'll have a look at it, but I mean, I'm not going to be like, you know, because because it's from you, mate. I'm going to look at it. Participate in airdrop, get 1 million donkey coins in addition to extra 1 million referral. Okay, so there's like another one now. They're so funny. You know what I'm saying? They're popping up like mushrooms, right? Anyway, guys, don't forget as well that we had our contest for our buddy token. So people won some Sol. 3 winners won Solana, and we're going to start a new one as well. I'm just putting it together, okay? Oh shit! Hang on. What the hell? Oh, we're still streaming, but I'm off the page. What the hell? Okay, sorry. We're still streaming. I was just off the page. Yeah, don't forget as well. We've got our buddy token as well. You can check that out at our link tree, and you can also get involved, join our Telegram, and join our Twitter, because this is a long-term project, okay? And this is like our community meme coin, okay? So you can still get involved. Just go to Linktree, and then you can click on that pump.fund, and you'll be able to get the get involved if you want to participate in the fair launch, okay? I'm just trying to play around with it here, but it's not. I'll have to do it offline. But I'll put the links will be below anyway. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll probably catch you in the next one, I guess. Alright, guys. Have a good one, and talk to you then.